yesterday and bloody horrible today.
I know. And my daughter had a yoga thing on down in Oxford today, and she thought this was going to be bloody awful.
Yeah.
It all turned out really good, even though it was wet. They had a great time, and so it all went well. So
Oh, there we are.
can't be bad.
Tidy.
I don't think it'll get me in the sea though.
Oh
my God, no. I was.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry about that. I was just caught me in the middle of making a coffee.
Yeah, we got Sam coming on.
I remember where was it? I think we were down Bracelet. I think it was on Friday. And the tide was in and said, it does look inviting, but I said it's obviously bloody cold.
Yeah.
And I do admire the people that get in there.
I know.
For the weather, but I don't think I could get in there.
No, I couldn't.
No, I know I went in. I think my daughter's birthday is 23rd of April, and she was 40 last year, I think it was, and she said, "Oh, I'd like to get in the water before my 40th birthday." So I said, "Oh well, if you're going to do it," I said, if it makes it easier, I'll come with you. But bloody hell! I mean, I got a selection of wetsuits, I suppose, like same as we all have. But I thought I didn't want to go without the wetsuit, so I just wore a pair of neoprene shorts and like a vest, like a neoprene vest, so it looks like a summer suit. And I went in with that, and Jesus Christ, water was like flipping it in needles.
I know, it's terrible. I don't know. It's just too cold, man.
Bloody hell. How people can go in.
Yeah.
I know. There's a program on, I think it was on the radio, documentary, and it was to do with something in you, which certain temperatures, and it affects your breathing. And it says if you can get past that point of actually relaxing and getting your first breath in and getting past it, and I always remember that. And when I used to go in the water, your first time in, you'd almost like you couldn't breathe. It'd be and that's just to your waist, and then you're going to just get down under and get the breathing and just move a bit, and that's actually that's what happens to me when I go in the sea in the summer abroad. The people who do it here regularly all year round, I think they get semi-conditioned to it. The women, I think the women do it more than the men. There are guys who do it, but the women seem to sort of make a thing of it, don't they? It's a little special thing. It's a state of mind, mental, physical, the whole thing. They seem to get the hang of,
Yeah.
But as you say, if I went in, it would be sort of, hang about, I could die here, loss of breath.
Well, the way you were talking there, Sam, that's like me in the hottest day of summer sort of thing, when the water's the warmest it's ever been sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. It is nice to be somewhere like Greece or something like that, and you just go in without any hesitation at all. Yeah. But I mean, the funny thing is, like years ago, Marion used to be able to walk in the water in the summer, and she'd go straight under, no problem whatsoever. Now, in the last, I would say probably 5 years or so, the table has reversed, and I can get in quicker than she can. Even without the wetsuit on. But that's summer months. But I have no hope in hell. I can, like you think sometimes, it's a nice day. Like say it was like yesterday, and you think I'll just try and have a paddle, but within 20 seconds, your feet, you've got toothache in your feet. And I wouldn't want that pain that I got in my feet in the groin area.
Yeah, right, yeah. I tell you
As
what,
they say, the ones that are doing this, the all year stuff, and the women and the guys, they go in slowly, don't they? And they up to their ankles and their shins, let that kind of just acclimatize a bit, then a bit further, then a bit further. The theory seems to be that it actually, what happens is it's stopping the blood getting to your brain, and that's what happens when people
Yeah.
go
it
into a
goes,
cold water.
you can go, if you go in the cold water in the summer, you can get hydroculsion. I've seen it happen down here, People have been lying on the beach all day. Oh, it's hot. So they just go running into the sea and dive in. And there was one guy who was really, I knew him.
Yeah.
Well, not knew him, but I used to see him regularly down the beach. And I was talking to one of the guys and I said, have you seen so-and-so there? So he said, no, he's dead. What? Yeah, hydroculsion. And it's a guy who's like fucking, big beefy guy. Like.
Right.
Weird.
You got to be careful. They always say you got to be careful. You should actually
Yeah.
go to doctors before you think about going in the cold sea.
Yeah, I know that time, I suppose it was stupid, really, because it was. I'm trying to think now. Last March then, and I went in, and you sort of think, if I hang about, I won't do it, so I'll just go straight in.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're sort of up to your shoulders, you suddenly it does take your breath away, and you think, shit, am I doing the right thing by here? But luckily, I got a second breath and I was okay. But I suppose it is stupid. People do it, don't they? Or everybody's doing it on Boxing Day or New Year's Day, and they do it, and they don't even bother going in the summer. So God knows how many.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's less dangerous in the winter than it is in the summer. Because in the summer, you'd be really hot. No, if it's really hot day, and the difference in the two temperatures is just a maximum, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything. Last time I went surfing was about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I think. Had a wetsuit on, yeah. Didn't have boots and gloves on, but it was like, August time. And water's up to 20 degrees. I was in the water, I was sitting there waiting for a wave. I was there I had a wave. Then about 10 minutes in the water, and my feet were dropping off. It was freezing.
Yeah.
The water wasn't cold, but I was freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I suppose, could be a lot of the stuff is circulation, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just going to say
things don't move around, and when you're just sitting there with your feet hanging over, and it's sort of the blood doesn't sort of go around your body and actually pump.
I think my blood has stopped circling altogether now. It's nothing to do with my body anymore.
I remember going into.
You have to get a pump fitted, Con. A little pump on your knee just to send it round a bit.
Yeah.
I remember surfing with Tridgy at Porthcawl, and we didn't have full wetsuits on.
It's coming in.
Trouser. I think I borrowed a pair of trousers. That's all I had on a t-shirt, and we were in a sort of harbour bay there. It was only small, a couple of foot. Paddle out, catching a few waves, and I fell off. I hit the water, and I just sort of could not breathe. Completely cramped my chest. Screaming out to Cridgy, waving my arms, and he's like waving on the beach. Yay, wave back. No, I'm dying.
Cool, lovely day, isn't it?
Petunia, the man waving. Oh, see the man waving.
Hey, look,
he's not drowning.
He's having a grand time out there in his boat. Oh, he's up and down. He's waving now. Oh, cool, lovely day, isn't it?
Anyway, how are we doing, Howard?
Knackered.
Update us. What's the position?
I came out of hospital about 10 days ago. I've never been so ill all my life, very ill. And I'm on the list now for gallbladder removal, but that could be months away or even years. Who knows?
You're on a special diet now, then, you?
Yeah, never have a gallbladder infection. I tell you, it's a nightmare.
All right.
Is it beyond repair then, or is it, or they just say, well,
Oh, they
some
take it
people have
out.
it
It's quite a common thing. They just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because if it's still
Like an
working, is it
appendix.
working a bit or just not working at all?
No, it's not that. I just got infected.
Yeah.
Probably some bacteria left over from my gastro I had in France. Possibly, we don't really know.
Mm.
Oh,
Just
How much
left
was
it.
it private, Howard?
Sorry, say
How
again.
much would it be privately?
Oh God, I don't know. About 10 grand. Like that. Yeah.
That's no fun, is it?
No. We're still here. Kicking.
Good
That's the
one.
main thing, isn't it? Can you get out and about, or have you got to just lie
Yeah,
there?
I went out yesterday. We went more for food shopping, and the day before I managed to have a walk down to Mumbles. First time in 2.5 weeks I got out. Been a bit weak, but we're getting there.
Why don't you speak to your GP, Howard, and see if they get a price for it?
Yeah, I can't afford it. But I'm on the consultants list. I'm on top of the emergency list, so it could be any time really.
Mm.
All right, so it's sort of you're on a thing, and it's a matter of weeks or months, is it?
Yeah.
Can you
Probably
report in
after
and
Christmas.
say, can you tell them it's giving me grief and I don't know if I can take this much longer or what?
Yeah, they just said it flares up, go back in. But they see if it flares up, they can't operate. But it gets infected, they can't operate when it's infected.
Yeah.
Can't tell them any porky pies then to get in quicker.
Well, the first thing you do is take a load of bloods off you,
Yeah.
analyze the bloods and all the levels. My white blood cells are way off the charts. So I had to stay in for 5 days on drips to get it all down with antibiotics.
Mm.
Like a
And that
bugger,
was,
isn't it?
I'm not used to taking those. And I was pretty spaced out. Pretty strong stuff,
What were you on?
These strong antibiotics, like a bloody zombie.
Mm.
Zombie biotics.
Yeah.
Let's get you sorted soon then, Howard.
Hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, it seems okay at the moment, touch wood.
It's good. Nobody wants to be ill.
Nothing going on. No. Stupid.
What's going on, guys? How's the bench going?
Oh, it's done.
No, I mean
I didn't make it last week, but who was on? Was it just Con, you and Kipper, was it last week?
Me and Biscuit had a chat, then me and Kip had a chat.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get an emission out of it. So what I did was, I don't know if you've seen the one I posted it to you all. Just a look back on the first 5 episodes we did.
All right. But is that the one you put up sort of
That's the one I put up this week, yeah. I had such a laugh going through that, editing it. Oh, but it's a bit sad as well, because there's Dave in it and Bones.
Dave and Paul, yeah.
Everybody. But, it made me smile. It really did make me smile thinking about it. And I'm so glad that we have done these recordings, It made me reflect a little bit on what we were actually doing. And that is actually capturing the moment of how we are now.
Yeah.
And
I came across.
How many have we done all together now, Con?
This one will be 168 official.
Get to the 200 soon.
200, yeah.
Funny thing, I was looking back on a post which had come up from somewhere, I can't remember. Oh, that's right. It was to do with Brush's funeral. And when he was announced passed away, and there were a number of comments on that page, and one of them, it was quite ironic, and it was Paul Carr who put up a post for Brush, and everybody was saying, oh, he was always smiling and whatever, and it was Paul Carr's post, and I thought, oh whatever.
Yeah.
I was at Brush's. I went up to Creme for the burial and met his family. I haven't seen him for years. Nice lot.
Well, at Brush's, I went to the it was Iceland Cemetery.
Yeah.
So I went down there, and I didn't realize that his younger brother, I think, that I was in school with, and he came up to me and spoke. We used to sit next to each other in school, and I'd forgotten. But it was because they had like a minibus full of people who just, got off at the cemetery, and they had playing Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Either Wouldn't It Be Nice or Surfing USA playing in the thing for
Yeah.
Brush. Yeah, and
Well, you came up, didn't you, Rob? You came as well, didn't you?
Was
yeah,
it brush?
'cause Disney,
Yeah.
wasn't it the word for wearing?
We had a pair of shorts and a surf shirt top.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did the Brewers live on Riversdale Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just about back from the end, just before it turned that little kink with the shops, about
Yeah.
50 yards back on the left-hand side, down the little dip. You had to go downstairs to their house,
Ah, right,
Yeah.
yeah. Next door to Chris Parkin, then. I'm sure he had a brewer.
Was Chris over there, was he?
Chris lives in Riversdale, yeah.
Yeah.
When Brush, well, Brush, he tried to surf, but he did a lot of photography in the old days.
Yeah.
He's always taking a lot of photographs. And I asked him about it one day, many years ago, when he had that two-seater coupe in West Cross. And he said, I've got them all in a biscuit tin. Loads of negatives. I never had them printed. All of us surfing in the late 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
I said, well, give them to me. I'll get them printed. But I saw him the following week, and he said he left them on the back seat of the car open, and someone had taken the tin and a few others and stole them.
Oh.
He lost a lot of history there.
Bloody hell.
Talking about history, I went down to the Austrian Hall a week last Friday. They had this that's come together now, and they've had funding to document all
That's
things
right,
Mumbles.
yeah.
Quite a nice little slideshow, and a couple of people talking about it. Any images that anybody has, and they were going out and doing live interviews with people with any recollections, just to get an audio of times gone by around Mumbles. And there was even a booklet, which a guy I know, I think, was to do with it producing, and it was all about the old dialect.
Yeah, that's right.
Our Uspoibi Lee and out along down along, and it's all like a translation of what words mean in English and in Welsh versions of. And this guy, he's a musician. You might have seen him around. Andy Tamlin Jones.
Yeah.
He's a kind of finger in your ear guy.
Yeah.
And he used to be with Boys from the Hill.
Yeah. I know him from folk clubs and back in the day.
Yeah, that's it. So, but apparently he must have been heavily into archaeology, and he said before the band got started or something. I thought, I was never aware. So he's obviously gone back to it, and he's part and parcel of this Gower archaeology thing, just trying to, sort of anything that's worth saving. But it seemed quite the pictures they had, but they were always looking for any more of anything to archive,
Beverly Rogers organised, isn't it, Sam?
Well, there's a couple of ladies. One was speaking, another one of them was about, maybe 50, 60, and there was a younger girl there who looked like in her early 30s, and Will, what's his name, Digger's son, was there, Will Thomas, the councillor, he was there kind of doing an opening up for it thing. So they're opening it up to anybody who wants to join and help and do whatever.
Yeah.
Just
quite good there, because I think they've got you've got an online presence.
We're getting on with the disabled wheelchair for Langland Bay. Got a meeting next week. Swansea City Council said they would maintain it next year and help provide funding. And Mumbles Community Council said they're going to put funding towards to purchase one. The only thing we've got to sort out is the RNI lifeguards told me that they're quite willing to store it during the season in the lifeguard hut. But the only thing we got to sort out is access either side. The ramp down by the Braz needs sorting out because there's a lot of big boulders down there. But I think we'll have to get a couple of guys from the council look at some other means of access.
Have to build a new ramp down then from the main road.
Aye,
Yeah,
yeah.
but just
It's
to
a pity the old one's gone, isn't it?
rebuild the hut and rebuild the ramp,
Yeah.
isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it's perfect, that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
The
there's
thing what I
gonna
want to
go
know
for
about that, Howard, is
Yeah.
how is it going to work for insurance and how?
Yeah, that's. I think the city council said that we got another meeting next week about
All right.
insurance,
Because
and
it's like dodging it, because you can get anybody coming up and saying, "Oh, can I have the what they do?
yeah, well,
Book
it's
it
gonna.
or
We're in touch with Rhiannon, I think her name is, in Surfability in Caswell. They got two there.
Mhm.
So I'd say it's early days yet, but there's a lot of positive feedback about funding and assistance anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of swimmers who unable, like this Paul Llewellyn, for instance, he can't get down. He goes so far, he can't get on the beach. He like to get on the beach. A lot of other swimmers like to get down. They have trouble getting onto the beach. So it could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, sounds good.
Me and Kim were out with the granddaughter down at Verdi's, and I said to Mally, the girl, I said, "Oh, walk up there now and have a look through the window." I showed her a photograph I'd taken, you see. So I showed her the photograph on my phone, and I said, "Walk down there and have a look out the window." And I was watching her, and she's looking out the window, and I saw a little face light up when she realised she could see in the flesh what I'd just shown her. She could see it. And so then later on, we actually drove up there and went for a walk around the grounds, you know. And we went up to the top of the hill opposite the castle. And I didn't realise there's a bench up there, Dylan Thomas bench, you know, which must have gone up for the centenary or whatever. So we sat on that for a while and looked across the bay. Oh, Andrew, did you
Yeah.
realise? You know, when you put a comment up on one of the I Love Langland threads, and it was must have been a week or more old, and it was this woman going down to the beach, and whoops, she almost trod in a pile of dog
Yeah.
poo.
Yeah.
And then there were various comments back and forth from it. And so I see yours a little bit down. So were you aware? I wasn't sure left hand, right hand, because you remember when we were putting the post up,
Yeah.
and that guy came out with a batch of dogs.
Yeah.
Right? And where he came from. Well,
Yeah.
did you say that guy and his mate? So behind the huts is where Moen lives. And
Yeah.
he takes a big troop out. But
Yeah.
obviously, whether they're the same dogs and they take it in turns, I don't know.
I don't know, but I know that
when you said that guy,
yeah, the guy that came out with the dogs.
did you know that Moen was the one with the dogs?
Yeah, well, that guy that came out
But
on
no.
that particular day wasn't Mo, was it? So,
No, he wasn't.
so I just thought, I mean, it's a big place that Mo has got, so I presume, I don't know
Somebody
why
else in
it
there?
wasn't Mo, but I've seen Mo coming out with a bloody herd of dogs.
Yeah.
None of them have got a collar on or a lead. They just running
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, on one side, they're a good batch of dogs. They stay together. They follow him. They whatever. He never loses any. But as you said, it's like when he's going ahead or when they're behind or whatever. How often is he aware that they pooped? You know.
There's shit anywhere, won't they?
I just think he's got no control. I don't. I'm not sure if it's his dogs, but
I think he's got about 2 or 3, and I think he actually then, as he takes other people's dogs out as well.
But I don't think he owns a lead. I don't think the dogs have got collars,
Yeah.
and it just seems to me that people seem to be afraid to mention that it's him. That I think personally is the biggest problem with all the shit that's around Langland and Rotherslade. And I don't understand why he's got away with it for as long as he has. And if he looks at these videos, I couldn't give a monkey's toss. Because I think what he does is flipping disgusting.
Yeah.
There's only one with a collar in that group.
You know, it is, you know, you're not allowed to let your dog foul the footpath.
Well,
Simple as that. If someone was just film whoever it is with their dogs, and just say to the police, look, this is what's happening. Do something
Yeah.
about it.
Well, Rob, you can't get the police to come and attend to somebody.
know.
You know,
You're going to be murdered. Someone's going to die.
I heard a couple of horrendous stories on Friday about what's going on in Swansea. You wouldn't flip and believe it. But
Well, I would.
when anybody rings the police don't really want to know.
Well, resources and things.
Yeah.
Well, they just
Like
don't seem to
paperwork.
give a damn, you know. There's people
It
walking.
is annoying. There's something that happens quite regularly. You know, the manic riders, both car, but mostly bikes. You know, the bikes that you see out, usually no helmets. There's usually 2 or 3 of them pulling
Oh,
wheels down the Mumbles Road, that lot.
The quad
And-
bikes, you mean?
Well, no, sometimes there's a quad in the pack, but other times it's a couple of trials bikes with no number plates on them. You're lucky if one of them's got a helmet on, but the guy in the back has just got a hoodie on, and sometimes the rider has just got a hoodie.
Yeah.
And they're almost riding the same way as you expect the thief to be behaving if he's in a shopping mall. They're riding in the duck and dive mode, looking
So-
behind who's where,
Yeah.
and they're just going, boing, I'm going down there, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And if the lights are on red, well, they don't want to sit there.
No.
So they'll pull across. Sometimes they'll
Yeah.
just run the lights.
Yeah.
And there's a regular route that they go down the Mumbles Road. I think they head for Bracelet. I'm not sure if they do go up Mumbles Hill and just have a little jolly around up there. But I remember ringing in once, and it's a simple operation. I thought, right, in about 15 minutes, they're going to be coming back along this road. So get the police, like, put a vehicle here now. You'll
Yeah.
catch them coming past.
Mm.
You know, some kind of, catch them in the act of.
Yeah.
Because we all know about that. The police are almost given the thing, don't pursue, because, and they'll throw their helmets off. Now, if they're wearing them, you know you can't chase this because it's, we could crash and die, and it's your fault because you've been chasing us. That seems to be an unwritten thing among apprehending those types now. And the more they sort of do it, the more they get away with it, the more they think they can carry on doing it. Nobody actually does anything about stopping them,
No. And I don't know what's going to come.
And you ring up the police to inform them. For one, you can't ring 999. It's not an emergency. You
No.
go to 101. By the time you get through, and then they're quite rightly trying to take your details and this, that, and the other, and you feel like saying, yeah, get your drift, but can you cut to the chase, please? Right now, there is a crime going on, and it's in this location, so do us yourselves a favor, get somebody there now. But you can't even get to that point because you have to give your name and address, this, that, and the other, make a login, a report, one thing and another, by which case the horse is bolted,
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the talk of down at Bracelet of, okay, so are they actually putting bumps there now? Are there cameras there? But about a year ago, there was a huge campaign going, right, we have to stop this. But that stretch, past the Apple, that's the burn quarter mile, isn't it,
Yeah.
Has anything happened about that?
I don't think so. I mean, very often we walk along the car park in Bracelet and you either hear them up on the road,
Yeah.
Screaming along, cars, bikes, quad bikes, you name it, God knows what. And then they come into the car park sometimes and then they go like a bat out of hell between the speed bumps and, skidding and stuff like that. And you think, and when you see it sometimes, they got some nice cars.
Oh yeah, it's the whole thing. It's guys who I should imagine working and spending a bit on the cars, and then maybe they don't do much else, but it's their pride and joy, and there's nothing wrong in that at all.
No.
But then it's the sort of the bits that go in between what they feel they have to do.
Yeah.
Like peer pressure.
There is like a bit of it. I was down Bracelet this afternoon, and when you come into the car park,
they park up on the slope.
on the
Just
left hand. There's some
that's
that
where they go.
park
They go
there
right at the
on-
car park, and they all
Yeah.
park door to door, and they do their socializing.
Yeah, but
They
no,
stay in
but
the
some
car.
of them there was a couple of cracking looking cars, like whatever they'd done to them, I don't know, but they spent a lot of money on them, done a lot of work on them, and they park on the left hand side as you go into the car park, and
That's right.
I
Yeah.
think great if that's what they want to spend their money on. They're not harming anybody in a way. I
No.
suppose they can be a bit annoying if you want a bit of peace and quiet, like. But like what I was saying about now on Friday, talking to this woman, she was saying that the daughter had gone to pick her. She didn't say what age her granddaughter was, but a youngster gone to pick her up from school, taking her back to the car, and this bloke was standing there with his phone, commented what a beautiful little girl she was, and he was visibly taking photographs of her.
Mhm.
And the mother was like a little bit, what's going on by here? Like, so she grabbed hold of the kid, chucked her in the car, and the bloke was up against the car, still trying to take photographs of the little girl.
Yeah.
So she rang the police, gave them, because he went in his car, gave him the registration number.
Yeah.
He's phoned up a couple of times on the Friday. Well, she was telling us on the Friday, and it happened this week sometime. And they said they've been to his house a couple of times, but they don't know where he is. Can't find him. So he's obviously a flipping weirdo.
The follow up on it is hard work, isn't it? You know?
Sounds like it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of weirdos about now.
Oh, did you clock the news this morning about that fire in Park Mill?
Yeah, well, I saw it on
Yeah.
Facebook that there was a fire.
I was speaking to a friend of mine who's just come back from a big traveling trip, and I saw him on Friday night in the Tav. Went to see a band, and he said, "Oh, he should only be back 3 days," and he joined a band. So they were having a practice somewhere, and when he explained where they were having a practice, it sounded to me like that house right opposite the Gower Inn, with the big window at the gable end.
I know, yeah.
And when the news came in about, oh, the road is closed and it's by the Gower Inn, I thought, oh. So I quickly contacted the family. I said, there's Gags, I've heard about a fire down so would that have been the same place? And they said, no, we were out, sort of celebrating their son coming back from Australia. But it seems it's the house, as you go through the real narrow bit where the steps are sticking out.
I
If
know.
you're going towards Gower, and it's on the right-hand side because there's no houses on the left,
Right.
and the steps are almost in the road.
I know.
So it's a little cottage there, and Kim said apparently the house has disappeared. It's totally gone. Whoever owned
I
it.
know. We just came past the houses there. It's just the windows and doors are boarded up.
Yeah. And
Right.
My car's still parked outside on the little driveway to his garage. So it's
yeah, because the person obviously wasn't in it.
Because somebody on Facebook commented that they'd driven through there yesterday and the front door was open and there was a carpet smouldering that was obviously must have been visible from the road. So sounds a bit strange that
It was 4 o'clock this morning, last night, that it seemed to go off.
all right.
well, someone put on Facebook that it came through there about midnight and there was like a lot of smoke.
All right.
And this is well before the fire engines came out.
Yeah,
So they thought someone's chimney is like a little fire or something. But
right.
That's the second cottage is burnt up. The one happened some years ago. The old long one just further down, that burnt down.
Insurance job, maybe. Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Free Wales Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
1.5 minutes left, boys. Who's coming back? I won't be coming back tonight.
Oh, I'll be going to bed, guys. I get really tired at the moment.
Yeah, I'll pass as well. I won't go back.
Get on again next week.
Okay.
There we
An
are.
early night. I'm trying to think if
it's
there's anything I was going to mention. Shall we go? I don't think so.
Have you gone, Sam, have you been down Langland at all? I haven't been able to get out. See, for like 3
Yeah,
weeks.
last week I've been down a couple of times.
Have you seen Paul down there? Is he still playing? And playing?
I think now where was I? And I thought, oh, Paul's not there, or somebody. I made a
I got in
comment to
touch
somebody.
with
No, I haven't seen him. But I tell you what's nice is walking out by the point, and when the sun's right, you can see the bench and the post
Right.
from across the bay. In fact, I put a picture up. It's just a random shot I took of a bunch of roses on that bench.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't see the bench. Didn't notice the bench in the
No,
background.
you wouldn't have, because it was right across the other side, and the roses would have been in the way.
All right.
I took the picture from around the back side of the bench just for the change, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Right.
just put my phone down and I went click, and that's it.
All right.
Next time you're up there,
It came-
Sam, take a photo from the point to the bench and then send it to me.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You can also see it if you're standing on the steps of the brass.